Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
A new commit for the 27 class. The podcast this morning, we talked about Alex Golish being in Montgomery yesterday for the ambush event. He had a lot to say. Stephen Pearl was in Birmingham at the Legacy event up there for the Regions tournament at Greystone. And he had like a 4 or 5 minute session with media to talk about, really a reflection on the season and kind of what he went through as a first-year head coach, and had a lot of interesting things to say about the guys that stayed and what made them stay. So we got a ton to talk about here today.
Hey, just because it's getting into those summer months doesn't mean that there's nothing for us to talk about and cover.
There's plenty to talk about. First things first, Auburn adds interior offensive lineman Jalen Moore from Creekside, Georgia, as just about an hour ago. That broke right at 11 o'clock. If you checked our Instagram, you saw that break. Again, when you look at an offer list, that's what you go with. When you look at, potential players adding to your roster, he's got all the offers. I mean, he chose Auburn over Alabama, Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Kentucky. When you look at this class, I'll talk about what Mason Johnson Cook this past weekend, one of the best running backs in the country, number 4 according to 24/7, but one of the top 50 players in the 27 class. Faith, in his size, he's added to this class. So the ones that Alex Golish they're adding right now, they're big-time players.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, too, we talked about it the other day, that you can't just look at the star rankings. You have to look at who else has offered him and the other schools that have made different guys priorities. Maybe if this is just a 3-star, but you go and you look at the other schools that have made him a big-time priority, that right there tells you that you are looking into a quality player. You are looking into a quality athlete that is going to be able to either get coached up to be, a better player than just what the 3-star or whatever the star ranking has him as. And, Coach Hoodie has been such a great coach on these offensive line guys that we've already seen just throughout the spring. And, I think he sees a lot in Jalen that he can make happen on this Auburn team.
Yeah, you build your team around your lines of scrimmage, and every year, Auburn's got a deep room, offensive line room right now, and I think Coach Golish talked about that in Montgomery yesterday at the ambush event. Really kind of isolated that group and said he was impressed with how much depth they came out of spring with, and obviously talked about Stanton Ramil and not really being able to participate, did some indie stuff, but really was non-contact and really didn't have him. And you expect him to play, but they wanted to find depth. They wanted to find numbers in a group that I think 17, 18 deep, depending on how you look at it. And they wanted to they felt good about out of spring, and I think they did that. I think when you look at it from a standpoint of the last couple of weeks of spring, they were consistently running the same 5 guys out, maybe in a different combination and different positions, but they're running the same 5 guys out. And look, I mean, not to diminish any other positions, but you have to get this offensive line right. You have to get right in the trenches. And Coach Golish said, look, from a mental standpoint, he thought they really grasped everything about as quickly as you could. But in this 14 weeks before fall camp, we got 14 weeks before fall camp, by the way. If that sandwiches how fast summer really goes by. But in that time, he has challenged them to get physically stronger. He feels good about them mentally and tactically, but physically he says, we've got work to do. And he said, I'm challenging every one of the guys in that room to do the things they need to do over the next 14 weeks to get ready for the fall.
Well, I think, too, you heard him at the beginning or towards the middle of fall camp kind of saying that the offensive group or the offensive line guys were a little slower. They felt like everything, because it's a lot of new guys,
right,
it was moving at such a fast pace for them that they were getting behind. They weren't able to be as up to speed as some of the other guys. And that took a toll on how quick they were able to progress. And hearing now that they really have made that big step of, all right, things are faster, things are moving a lot better for this group, that right there should be kind of that answered prayer that Alex Golesh was really hoping for halfway through spring ball.
Right. You just don't know when you got a bunch of new guys, a bunch of new coaches that bring in a very small window of time that you're able to work with them. I think I brought it up last week on the podcast. You don't get better a lot of that you do individually on your own time, extra things that can help you. And I use baseball as an example. You know, when you're at practice in baseball, you don't get the number of swings during practice to get better at the plate. How you get better at the plate is you go hit the cage and you go hit 1,000 baseballs, or you get on the field with somebody and get some live pitching and get enough swings. So I think the same goes for the offensive line or for the wide receiver group that we talked about last week. The wide receiver group has to be better for sure. But here in this first segment, I wanted to really talk about Auburn adding another player to the 27 class in Jalen Moore. And it's a good one because it's an offensive lineman. I think anytime you look at it, that's the gap in Auburn and Alabama and Georgia over the last 10 years. Go look at how many linemen they've had drafted versus how many linemen Auburn's had drafted, and that tells the tale.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what we talked about on Monday or Tuesday.
I think it was Tuesday because Monday Jason was on.
Yeah, Tuesday. So. Then that's kind of what we talked about a little bit on Tuesday was that. And, you know, getting somebody from the surrounding states also is big, that you know that they're going and recruiting really hard in Alabama and then also, you know, in Georgia and then in Mississippi to get local-ish guys.
Absolutely. Again, you know, that and I think Birmingham today. Birmingham yesterday, and it was pouring rain, but you know they were getting ready for all that. But again, a huge pickup anytime, literally and physically. A huge pickup for Auburn, and Alex Golesh able to add an offensive lineman to this class. So, all right, guys, we're up against our first break here on the show. We're live on location at the Glenda Mitchell Law Firm here in Auburn. I'm so glad to be here. Everything law firm, you all.
I want on my side, that's for sure. And she's somebody that you should want on your side. Again, talk about the surrounding states.
Right. The
surrounding states here in the South, you know, whether it's Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, she's everywhere.
There's no doubt. You don't have to drive far to see her face on the billboard for sure. So, all right, everybody, we're going to take our first break here for TV. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz coming up right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking for hometown service and name brands you can trust? Come to Presley Appliance and Furniture. From the best choice in appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and KitchenAid to home furnishings, Presley's is your one-stop shop for comfort and quality. And now we've added the Mattress Shop by Serta Simmons Bedding and top quality sheets and pillows from Caraloha. Shop Presley Appliance and Furniture on Cherokee Road in Alex City or online at PresleyAppliance.com. That's PresleyAppliance.com.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Berner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
At Southern Union State Community College, success isn't a solo journey. It's powered by something bigger. A herd of faculty, mentors, industry partners, and a community committed to helping you move forward. Whether you're earning a degree that prepares you for immediate entry into the workforce, transferring to a university, or learning a new skill, Southern Union helps you find your strength and run with it. Herd powered, performance driven. Southern Union State Community College. Apply today at suscc.edu.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Summer is on, and Royal Furniture is ready to celebrate 80 years of providing our customers top brand furniture at the industry's best prices. And now you can save huge with the 80th anniversary sale. At Royal, you always qualify for Royal credit terms, now up to 60 months at 0%. Save huge now and pay later at Royal Furniture, Auburn, Prattville, and Montgomery.
Big things are happening at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get massive savings on our entire lineup of Chevys, from Silverado trucks, Tahoe, Suburban, and Traverse SUVs. Every model side by side for comparison. Plus, we always have a fresh selection of late model pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs ready to roll with huge discounts. Smart people from all over the USA buy from Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Online 24/7 at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Back everyone to the Auburn Blitz. 45 minutes left on our show today. We're live on location at the Glenda Mitchell Law Firm here in Auburn. Again, if you're in the Alabama area, 334-604-7927 to call. They do free consultations here. But again, hope none of you are ever, or anybody in your family is ever in a traffic accident. But if you are, you need to have Glenda on speed dial. She's a fighter for you. She's going to hold the insurance companies accountable. She's going to make sure everything during a traumatic time in your life is as seamless as possible. And again, we just don't know in this world. There's a traffic accident in Alabama every 3 minutes. So you just don't know. You can be doing all the right things and something bad can happen anyway. So make sure you check out Glenda Mitchell, and we'll talk more about her, obviously, as the show goes along. We're glad to be here at her office. What a beautiful office, by the way, here in Auburn. So you need to come by and check it out. You can swing in and set an appointment if you need to talk face-to-face, and you can go to her website, GlendaMitchellLawFirm.com, and fill out the little questionnaire there if you got, some things that you need to talk to her about or somebody on her team. So, again, appreciate her and her entire team. All right. Talked about, getting a recruit here, and then now going back to Alex Golish's talk. And, I kind of went through half of it this morning on the podcast. I saved some of it for, this show today. When I look at what he said, I talked about the portal window and how much he really stressed that taking away that second portal window helped him mentally, helped his mental health, helped his coaches. He said he thought it took 8 years off his life, those 10 days. And, we discussed it multiple times and how stupid that second portal window was, because you put so much time and investment in players, and then at the end of spring, they can get in the portal and go somewhere else. And it's almost like you're building somebody up. He said he thought that the exit meetings were about as real as they've been in a long time, because, hey, look, you're here. So you can go in there and you can sit down and look at somebody face to face and say, hey, this is what you need to work on. You want to get more playing time? You want to do this? Here's what you got to work on. Whereas the last couple of years of that second portal window, you probably didn't feel as comfortable about maybe being upfront and honest because you were afraid somebody's going to dart out the door.
Absolutely. You have those conversations now where you say, hey, if you want to get your playing time that you think you deserve, you need to go and work on this, this, and this. And before you're still trying to recruit your guys on the team to stay and remain on the roster, that right there tells you within itself that the level of comfortability that you're getting with these guys, and not only you get what you get, so this roster that you have, that's it. So if there is an area that is really weak or something that really needs to be worked on throughout the summer before you guys go and see each other again, that right there is a huge opportunity to have that conversation without feeling like they're going to leave because they're not happy with the conversation and the way it's going. I think that portal window being gone now has done numbers for not only the coaches, but the players too.
Yeah, there's not many things that the NCAA has done in the last 5 to 10 years that were positive. Stepping up and actually eliminating that portal window really helped. I mean, it just really never made sense, because you are literally in the middle of the year. And as the new year starts and you're preparing and you're going through, I mean, you can see that the stress on a coach that you're really depending on this guy or this guy over here in this position group. And at the end of the portal, at the end of the spring, they jump in the portal, or somebody's been, trying to poach them away from you. And, you even went to a situation where you saw coaches and universities say, we're not even going to do a spring game anymore because we don't want people to see, a particular player that may not be a starter, but somebody that you go, wow, okay, you can't start for them, but you can start for us. I'm going to come get you early. And it just eliminates that poaching part of the deal, which was, to me, never made sense.
Well, think about the players too. That let them be so much more dedicated to this team rather than feeling like they need to showcase either to somebody else or be given an opportunity somewhere else. You're really letting them fully focus on this team, build that team chemistry, not make them feel like they have other options.
One other thing, 2 or 3 more points about what Alex Golish said yesterday at Ambush. He was asked a question about what did he want to see out of this group in the offseason? What can they do to get better? And he said, just to be honest with you, he said, I know it's going to sound corny, but holistically bond together. He said, get out of your circle. Go eat dinner with somebody that's not in your circle. Go ask somebody to go grab lunch that may be not in your position group. Or, if you're going to go bowling with your girlfriend, why not ask a couple of your teammates to go with you? If you really want to truly build a bond, he said, I know that sounds corny, but that's how you get better as a team and you become unified, because we all have our cliques. Even on a team, you have guys that you hang out with. And he said, we all need to be hanging out together. So I thought that was a very interesting comment for him. because it's really about what you do individually during this time between now during that 14-week period.
We heard a lot last year that different position groups were going out and hanging out together. And that's another reason I think is why everyone was so separated. And there was a lot of separation throughout. And hearing that he wants you to go get somebody from a different position group, you have everybody stretching together. You have everybody as a united team rather than splitting off into different sections. That tells me that he understands how important having this be one team is.
Yeah, I mean, those teams that can figure all that out and get together quicker are going to be the ones that usually have the most success. So that's in anything. That's in the business world. That's in sports, especially teams that build that chemistry. And I hate to say it, we saw maybe that be one of the fatal flaws for this basketball team this year. It just never felt like everybody was pulling in the same direction. It felt like guys were kind of in silos doing their own thing. And the year before, you saw a team that was completely unified. And that team, of course, they were talented, but they made it all the way to the Final Four. So look, I've been covering high school, college for a long time. And unanimously, from JUCO to high school to college to Division I, teams that figure that thing out, teams that can become one together. I know, again, it sounds kind of corny when you talk about it, but they're the ones that tend to do the best. And I think that's what Coach Golish is looking for with this group. All right, we're up against another break. We are live on location at the Glenda Mitchell Law Firm here in Auburn. Again, we appreciate her so very much. Hopefully just saw her walk by. Yeah. Hopefully get her to come in and be on the show with us for at least a little bit before we get off. We're going to take another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event. From tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, you care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, you care about the air you breathe, call Sensigreen.
Summer's on, and Royal Furniture is ready to celebrate 80 years of providing our customers top brand furniture at the industry's best prices. And now you can save huge with the 80th anniversary sale. At Royal, you always qualify for Royal credit terms, now up to 60 months at 0%. Save huge now and pay later at Royal Furniture, Auburn, Prattville, and Montgomery.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Henderson & Coker is a premier custom general contractor located in central Alabama. With over 50 years of industry experience, Henderson & Coker has been crafting stunning custom residential and commercial spaces for families and businesses throughout Alabama and Georgia. If you're in the market for a top-of-the-line luxury home or specialized commercial work, contact the experts at 256-750-7383 and check them out on the web at hendersonandcoker.com.
Join the 43rd Alabama State Games, June 12th through 14th, 2026. Compete in Olympic-style events and support Alabama youth sports. Discover the power of sports. Registration opens March 1st at alagames.com.
Back everyone to the Auburn Blitz. Halfway through our show, we're live on location at the Glenda Mitchell Law Firm here in Auburn. And again, thanks to Glenda for being our partner on everything Auburn Blitz, our podcast, our show here at noon, all of our social media content. I can't think of anybody I'd rather partner with.
No, I mean, she's literally everywhere. She's so busy, but so talented, and her law firm and her team, they are fighters and they will fight for you.
Yeah, helping personal injury victims with motor vehicle accidents, workers' comp. If you've been in a wrongful death, they'll handle all that. They'll take care of you. And again, you see their billboards all over the place. And let's see if I can get her billboard right there, bring it in here before we leave. She's got of course, as many billboards as she has. Lamar should have given her like a gold-plated one. But anyway, again, just glad to have that that partnership. And yeah, I think they're doing some content here in the office today. So always fun, always exciting. Everybody's upbeat here when we get here. It's always so much fun. But it's always Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine time when we're halfway through our show too.
Yes, Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine and Pepper Tree Montgomery, and also in Auburn off of the Bent Creek exit. Pepper Tree has some of the best food lineups this week that you can go in there and get. I know they've got spaghetti and meatballs. They've got different meat and side selections throughout the whole week. So make sure you stop by Pepper Tree. Some of the best food you'll ever eat.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, continuing on, again, carryover from the podcast this morning. Coach Golish had numerous things to say. Auburn picking up a recruit about an hour ago, offensive lineman Jalen Moore from Creekside, Georgia, picked Auburn over Pitt, Georgia Tech, Georgia, and Alabama, along with I know Kentucky was on his list, several other colleges. Good to go ahead and add a lineman in this class. But then Coach Golish was asked yesterday at Ambush about recruiting and where they are with it. And he said, I'm really good with where we are. He said, we're going out and he uses the word intentional a lot. He said, being very intentional about the guys that we're targeting. He said, we're going to go out and get difference makers. We're going to go get guys that fit our system. And so, I think he puts things in perspective. You saw him. I thought he was very, very open about that. It's when he said, hey, look, we're going to continue to do what we do. And he brought up what you and I've talked about so many times. You got to be successful in the fall. At some point in time, you got to show success, and a lot of this other will take care of itself. You're in on all these guys. He said, look, thought they did a really good job in the spring of getting a lot of guys in. We saw them up close and personal. And then you got these official visits that are going to be coming up over the next several weeks and months. They've got guys targeted. He was honest. He said, look, we're in on a lot of guys, and then some we want to be in on, we're not on yet. He said, but he said, I told my coaches, just keep recruiting. Just keep doing what you've been doing and keep, stay the course. I told you that, about some things in life. Don't look too far out. Stay focused in where you are and trust the process. And I know that's a Nick Saban term, but you trust the process. And if you're confident in what you're doing, it'll take care of itself.
The moral of the story, when it all comes down to it, it's how is this team going to be successful in comparison to the last couple of years because of getting a new coach and everything, but also the atmosphere.
Right.
Because Auburn fans always are showing up. They're the ones that have made this miserable last couple of years still an experience, even while not winning. So if Alex Golesh and this crew that he's brought in can go and win some games and give people their why do I want to come play here? Why do I want to go and do this? It's for your teammates. It's for the people. It's for your coaches. You're doing it not just for yourself, but for everybody around you. And again, Alex Golesh has just made that very known that this is not a one-man band. This is a team. This is a united group. And who does he want to go out and get? Who does he want to bring in? Why do they want to come?
Yeah. I think the word intentional is appropriate. I think you have to be intentional in everything you do. You see some guys right now, I'm not necessarily saying they're in the doghouse, but you see some guys that have been called out and they need to do some things to improve if they want to stay part of this team. And again, you want to, as a player, you want that university to invest in you from an NIL standpoint and a collective standpoint, but you need to invest in the university. And when I say that is you need to go out and do the things that's going to make you the best possible player to go out on the field and perform. And that's what you get paid for. You're not getting paid to hang out. You're not getting paid to shoot commercials. You get paid to play football. And I think that kind of gets lost in the mix sometimes. Yeah. Stephen Pearl, we'll talk about his comments too in a little bit. And I think he made a really good point about who they're targeting and why they're targeting guys. But again, with this class, you look, as much as it pains me to say it, Auburn is a program right now that's trying to get back to where it needs to be. So you're trying to find some guys that have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Maybe they were passed over. Maybe they were told they weren't quite good enough to play at this level. And a lot of people that have been the naysayers of the South Florida players coming over and some of these other guys from some mid-major schools have said, well, you're going to take those guys and you're going to put them in. Well, maybe they have something to prove. I've seen plenty of 4- and 5-star guys flop out because they felt like they were entitled. But you go take a 3-star guy that's pissed off and has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, he's going to give you better performance and better effort all the way around, which in turn makes you a better football team.
He's going to outwork the one that thinks they deserve it. And that's Alex Golesh's whole motive this entire spring, ever since he got there, is however hard you want to work is going to outdo what somebody thinks they're just deserving of.
Yeah, and I'm not saying go fill your roster up with 2- and 3-star guys. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you got to have dogs on your team, but you also don't go fill your roster. Auburn had plenty of dogs on the team last year. Maybe they weren't coached up. We had 2 linemen that got drafted. Normally, if you get 2 linemen from your starting 5 get drafted, you're going to look back and go, hey, they probably had a pretty good season. No, had a 5-win season. So the only thing you can look to at that point is go, well, maybe the coaching wasn't quite up to par, or maybe the schemes on offense weren't quite where they needed to be for them to be successful. So there's a lot that goes into it, but I don't think just kind of like, and I'll come back and I'll finish when we come back in the next segment about what he said about A-Day. And I thought that was huge too. So we'll save that for when we come back in the next segment. But we're live on location at the Glenda Mitchell Law Firm here in Auburn. What a beautiful office. So glad to be partnered with Glenda Mitchell and her entire team here. Again, if you need a fighter for you, anybody in your family, or you've been in a car accident, you need to have Glenda Mitchell on speed dial. We'll give you that number here in just a little bit again. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz coming up right after this.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin, comfort for life.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The all-new Winter Timber is now open, located right next to the Walmart Market across from the Auburn Mall. If the outdoors is your lifestyle, Winter Timber is your new headquarters. From rifles, ammo, and hunting supplies, camo, and all the outdoor essentials, they've got it in stock and ready for you. Winter Timber is here to serve Auburn, Opelika, and the entire Lake Martin area, and they'll make the drive worth it. For the best selection and the best service in outdoor gear, one name says it all: Winter Timber, the best in outdoor needs.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Summer's on, and Royal Furniture is ready to celebrate 80 years of providing our customers top brand furniture at the industry's best prices. And now you can save huge with the 80th anniversary sale. At Royal, you always qualify for Royal credit terms, now up to 60 months at 0%. Save huge now and pay later at Royal Furniture, Auburn, Prattville, and Montgomery.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your vehicle or boat to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your boat or vehicle the right way. Located on Highway 63, just about 2 miles from Highway 280 in Alexander City, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328.
Big wins all year long. Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air once again is giving away concert tickets, race tickets, highly coveted prizes, and more. Want in? Follow Dixie on Facebook to see how to play along.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Going to the Auburn Blitz, got a couple segments left on the show today. And obviously, as you see on your screen, everything Auburn Blitz is brought to you by this lady right here, Glenda Mitchell. Glenda, good to see you.
Good to see you guys. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today.
Well,
to have you guys here at my office.
And this is a beautiful office, by the way.
Thank you.
And I know you're about to have another opening over in Carrollton, right?
Cartersville.
Cartersville,
yes,
that's right.
I think it's Thursday.
Thursday.
So
You're just busy.
I'm busy.
All over the place.
I'm blessed.
Well, we are too, to be partnered with you and your law firm. And while we've got you here, Glenda, I know that you guys have a lot of fun with content. Yes. And, you got billboards everywhere. And the thing is that you want to be visible so everybody knows what you do. And if you need a fighter in your corner, this is her right here. And,
yes.
One of the first meetings that you and I and Faith and all of us had together, you talk about if you're a client, they get your number.
That's
and
right.
how important that is. Kind of tell everybody about why that's important for you.
Well, I just want every client to know that I myself care about your case, and I care about, your story and what you've been through. So I make sure every client has my cell phone number so they can text me, call me. Some of them call me in the middle of the night. I would prefer not have that, but if it was necessary,
Sure.
then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, we're also partnered with the Alabama Department of Transportation, which goes right along with what you do. And there's a traffic accident in the state of Alabama every 3 minutes.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
And that's just kind of baffling to me. I say that all the time. We talk about it, but just mind blowing that every 3 minutes there's some type of accident here in the state of Alabama. But you cover so much of the Southeast, don't you?
Yeah, so the entire state of Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina.
Okay.
So, and just think about it, like you're just going to work and your entire life has changed just like that.
Yeah, it can happen so fast. And we talk about that all the time. You can be doing all the right things and paying attention, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, something happens. It can change your life tremendously. But Glenda, you guys are doing such a great job. And, tell everybody where you're located here in Auburn that's watching.
So, yes, so we have a new Auburn office and we're so excited about it. We're near Tiger Town.
Yes, which is right, just literally right there. So.
Yes, so very convenient to shopping and restaurants, and also hopefully for our clients to stop in anytime and get merch or see us or hire us.
I do want to, before you get off here on this segment, I do want to talk about your mission, not only as an attorney and your team and working for clients, but how invested in the communities you are.
Yes.
That is a personal goal of yours. I've been around you long enough now to know that wherever you are, you want to help and you want to be seen in that community, giving back to those communities.
Yeah, and more than being seen, I just really want to make a difference. I grew up with very humble beginnings and I didn't have a lot of opportunities when I was young. So I just like to make sure I give that back in the communities that I am working in, that I also make, some kind of difference in that community as well, so that people know, not that I'm just taking.
Sure.
Of course, I'm not just taking, I'm helping clients, but that I'm also giving back.
That's huge because, again, all of these communities, whether it be Little League or whether it be the 5K in Auburn or whether it be sponsorship of high schools or individual players with NIL deals, because I know you've done some things there as well.
I have Bear McBorder, who is in Auburn. I'm so excited to go there.
There you go. So a little personal shout out there to Bear. But Glenda, this is great. Again, we can't thank you enough for partnering with us here at the Auburn Blitz as we've been growing over this past year. It's been kind of crazy to see the amount of growth that we've had.
It's amazing.
It is. And, I guess we patterned after you guys because you guys are growing so much. But how can people get in touch before we let you go here? How can people get in touch? I say it repetitively every single morning, and Faith talks about it too. But tell everybody how they can get in touch with you
So
guys.
you can just go online and you can call me. You can call my cell phone, 770-324-3154. You can call the office, any office, and we come to you. So you don't have to come to us. We would love for you to, but you do not have to.
So that's another thing that it's on all the billboards. So we come to you. So, okay, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
How many billboards do you have? Do you know?
I don't know. Everyone asks, and I really need to find out.
I think somebody probably has that number somewhere.
Hunter Horton, I believe, does, but I need to find out what it is.
Hey, you got so many billboards. You've even got your own personal one right out here, right as you walk in the door. So we may swipe that and put it on here for everybody to see. Glenda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure hanging out with you. And I know you got content going on today and all, but again, thank you for your partnership with us here at Auburn Blitz. So
thank you so much.
there she is, everybody, the lady herself.
Guys.
All right, we're going to take a break. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz coming up right after this.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC, a Apply today.
Summer's on, and Royal Furniture is ready to celebrate 80 years of providing our customers top brand furniture at the industry's best prices. And now you can save huge with the 80th anniversary sale. At Royal, you always qualify for Royal credit terms, now up to 60 months at 0%. Save huge now and pay later at Royal Furniture, Auburn, Prattville, and Montgomery.
Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state, options selected by customer availability, and eligibility may vary.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Buying a home or property can be the biggest investment of your life. The Wisdom Firm is licensed to close any property purchase in the entire state of Alabama. The offices on both Bent Creek Drive in Auburn and Highway 49 South at beautiful Lake Martin. The Wisdom Firm has you covered. Give Travis and his team a call at 334-826-0722 or check them out at www.auburnlegal.com for all your real estate closing needs. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than the quality of legal services made by other attorneys.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz final segment here on the show today, live on location at the Glenda Mitchell Law Firm in Auburn. Just had Glenda on with us, and man, what an awesome person. And you know, again, she talks about her beginnings and how she got to where she is, and you know, very successful and loves to give back to the community she's involved with.
And I think that's so special because she already is so busy all the time, and the fact that she still makes time to go back and spend time giving back to the community just says so much about her and her team.
No doubt about it. So glad that she was able to, she's very busy. So we grabbed her for a segment, and so glad to have her join us here on the program. Faith, to close out, Stephen Pearl was at a different venue. He was up in Birmingham at the Regions Tradition, and yesterday in the middle of a massive rainstorm, but met with the media. It was about a 4 or 5 minute little, talk with them. But one of the first things he said, and I thought this was very key, we talked about it on the podcast this morning, but I think it's important.
he said he did not think Tahad Pettiford or KO would be on this team now if they had not accepted that NIT bid. And so when they ended the season at 17-16, they had a team meeting. They agreed to play in the NIT. And then we saw a different Tahad the last 10 games of the season. And then KO, after the first half of that first game in the NIT, really was the MVP of that team, I thought. And really was the mainstay on the team all year. Was recruited as a defensive guy, became a tremendous offensive player. But that success in those 5 games really, I think, brought this team together even more, and it allowed you and I thought for 100% Tahad was gone. I think everybody else thought the same thing. And then he comes back, and then KO announces, if you had to pick 2 that you wanted to come back on this roster, it was those 2.
Absolutely. And we just talked about it with football, the camaraderie of being around each other and being able to build and grow that relationship. Do you see how much of a different team it was after winning, and their chemistry grew the more they won it throughout that tournament, that they got closer, they got better as a team. Right. They looked like a completely kind of different team on offense, at least. And things were just starting to turn and make sense for them. So that's why they accepted the NIT bid, I think, because they thought this team had more potential than what they did in the regular season. And I mean, there were so many people complaining about why did they take the NIT? Why are they doing this? Auburn isn't an NIT tournament program. And
maybe in a particular year you are.
Right. And again, if you didn't have that NIT opt into that, they wouldn't have been on this team for this next season.
No, exactly right. And I think when you look at it from that standpoint, it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks.
Right.
They said from the get-go, hey, we want to play more basketball. They had the opportunity to do it. Kudos in this day and age with a bunch of guys getting together saying, hey, let's keep going. Yeah. Let's see what we can do and see what we can build on, because it would have been so easy to say, no, we're done with this. We didn't have the season we wanted. Let's just end it and let's move on and go our separate ways. And that's not exactly how things work. Some did, some left, some went in different directions, but then you had a good group that did stay. So it wasn't a complete rebuild like last year. You had 10 brand new guys on a team that you had to go get. You had one returner in Todd Pettiford. So you didn't have a lot of seniority or leadership coming into this team. And then the last thing we'll talk about before we get off here is that Stephen said, yeah, we targeted these mid-major guys that went off and were really good players for their team at Creighton, at Troy, at Santa Clara, and some of these places that are good enough now to play in this league, that play above the rim, that shoot the ball well enough. Again, chip on your shoulder, have something to prove, want to come in. They're hungry to win. They helped their team win at their previous spot. Now they want to come and do more at a bigger program like Auburn.
Well, I think you see a lot of Bruce Pearl in Stephen when he says some of those things, because I think that's what you have to do now at this level and where college basketball has gone. But I think his father really showed him the ropes and some of those things. I mean, you look at Janai Jerome and how he was transformed into the player that he is. And I mean, even just some of those guys before that were, I mean, I hate to say it, but Chad Baker-Mazara, where he was, and then what he was able to do for Auburn, he still played a huge impact in both a positive and negative way. But, you know, that is the landscape of college basketball these days. But it is about how they want to work and they want to contribute to this team as a whole and not have the team contribute to them, if that makes sense. That's what it felt like last year, was how can the team contribute to my success?
Well, it did. I mean, again, operating in silos rather than as one unit. I really think it was the stool. I think the stool changed I'm just kidding. I do think the stool maybe brought some confidence to Stephen over on the sideline. And, you know, he even talked about that. He said, hey, I had to learn a lot. He said, it's different when you get in the head position. He said, I had a front row seat to watching, you know, BP do it. But he said, when you are in the seat, it's different. You don't understand the time. The head seat. Yeah, which seat? Yeah, the seat. The seat. But again, going back and understanding, you don't know the enormity and under the microscope. He said, I had to learn when to take timeouts and when not. And we saw that during the season. And he admitted it.
Again, that's where you get as that infant stages of being a head coach. There's one way to spin it of he was a head coach and it was his first year. It's going to take time to learn. And then there's that Brian Harsin year in football where you got to get rid of him the first year.
That's a cuss word on this show.
Yeah. So, but seriously, you have to have some sort of baby steps when you think about it in any position that you're in.
I think if any of the naysayers out there were saying, look, that was their argument. You don't hire somebody to cut their teeth at a program like Auburn. But again, it was a different situation because he'd been on the staff for so long following Bruce Pearl. But the ones that were saying, nah, you don't do that. You go coach somewhere else and then you come back. But look, thought overall, you end up winning 22 games. You win the NIT, you carry a lot of momentum into the all season and you're building this roster up. It's going to take a couple more guys. And then, then you're going to be finished and you're going to be ready to start prepping for the season.
Again, how important has this offseason been for him and what's left of the offseason? How important it is for him to show people what kind of coach he can be with his own team, staff, everything.
No doubt about it. Well, we've got a minute left here on TV. Again, we appreciate all of you that tune us in each and every day here on the Noon Show. It's been a pleasure being here at the Glenda Mitchell Law Firm in Auburn. She's got 3 offices, one in Georgia, one in South Carolina as well. But she's a fighter for you. It was great to have her on and for everybody to see her. And she gave herself right out for everybody, all 654,000 customers on Charter. Please don't everybody call her at one time. That she would appreciate that. We would too. But if you do need her, that's when you call her. That's why she gave the number out there, Faith. But again, it's been a good time. You got anything you want to add before we get off?
I hope everyone has the best day ever.
Absolutely. Be good to people. And again, we will catch you next time for more Auburn Blitz.